The U.S. Navy says it prevented Iranian warships from seizing 2 oil tankers in international waters near Oman. The incident happened early Wednesday morning, according to an American military official. Let's bring in NBC News global security reporter Dan Luce for more on this. Dan, good morning. So according to that official, Iranians appear to be attempting to board and take over the tanker before changing course when a U.S. Navy destroyer intervened. Explain to us what happened here. Why would Iran want to do this?
That's right, Joe. This is not a new phenomenon. This has been going on for the past few years, but this was a fairly dramatic incident. And they tried to board 2 different oil tankers in international waters near Oman. And one of those tankers is owned by Chevron. And in one of those cases, the Iranians actually opened fire on one of the tankers. No one was injured, but obviously that caused alarm. But in both cases, a U.S. destroyer, the McFall, showed up on the scene, and the Iranians clearly had second thoughts and pulled away and were prevented from boarding those 2 tankers. But basically, Iran is often trying to flex its muscles in this part of the world. They want to send a signal that they can disrupt oil and commercial shipping in this really important waterway, Joe. And the U.S. has stepped up its presence and its patrols around the Strait of Hormuz to try to deter this kind of interference.
Dan, so what is Iran saying about this? What's their take on the course of events?
They say they've done nothing wrong, and they allege that one of those tankers, the one owned by Chevron, had allegedly collided with an Iranian boat this week and caused damage, and therefore they had a alleged court order from an Iranian court to seize that tanker. Now, I don't think the U.S. and a lot of other countries are going to recognize their authority in this instance, and there's no independent confirmation that such a collision occurred. But that's their take. They always accuse the U.S. of kind of an imperial dominating behavior in the region. So obviously relations are horrendous between these 2 countries.
Yeah, I want to ask you more about that. I mean, let's take a step back from this incident, big picture right now. Really, what is the state of relations between the U.S. and Iran right now?
So, Joe, of course, no formal relations since 1979, since the hostage crisis way back then. But there are indirect negotiations going on right now. And the U.S. is trying to secure the release of Americans who have been held prisoner in Iran for several years now. And there's also sort of indirect back-channel talks to try to somehow come to a verbal agreement that would prevent Iran from actually developing nuclear weapons. And there is some progress there on those fronts. And so the question is, are these incidents in the Gulf now going to derail those talks? And for whatever reason, Iran decided to perhaps take these actions to send some kind of a signal. So I think we have to watch whether the diplomacy will unravel now, or whether they can sort of control and contain those tensions in the Gulf.
All right, Dan Luce, thank you so much as always.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.